Deep in the heart of the world's most unforgiving deserts, where the sands shift and the sun blazes with unrelenting heat, lies a secret that has waited centuries to be uncovered. 25 inscriptions, carved into the walls of forgotten temples, have recently been unearthed, each one a puzzle, a whisper from a civilization long lost to time. These aren't just markings on stone, they're time capsules, holding messages that could rewrite everything we think we know about the ancient world. What were these people trying to tell us? Why did they hide their words in such remote, desolate places? And what stories, what truths have been buried beneath the sands for thousands of years? Today, we're embarking on a journey to decode these mysterious inscriptions, to uncover the secrets they guard, and to piece together the hidden history of a world that once thrived where now only silence remains. From cryptic symbols to tales of power and survival, each inscription holds a piece of the puzzle, and by the end of this video, you'll see how these ancient voices are still speaking to us, louder than ever. The desert temples stand as silent sentinels, rising from the endless dunes like echoes of a forgotten age. These structures, often hidden in the most remote corners of the world, were built to endure, not just the passage of time, but the relentless forces of nature itself. Imagine a place where the air shimmers with heat, where the wind sculpts the sand into waves that seem to stretch into eternity. It's here, in these unforgiving landscapes, that ancient civilizations chose to erect their temples. But why here? Why in places so hostile, so far removed from the bustling cities and fertile lands of their time? The answer lies in the purpose of these temples. They weren't just places of worship, they were sanctuaries of knowledge, power, and mystery. For centuries, these temples served as the spiritual and intellectual heart of their societies. Priests, scholars, and rulers gathered within their walls, exchanging ideas, performing rituals, and recording their most sacred truths. And it's these truths carved into stone, etched into walls, that have survived the ages. The inscriptions found in these temples aren't mere decorations. They're deliberate messages, meant to endure long after the people who wrote them were gone. But preserving these messages came at a cost. The harsh environment that protected them from destruction also made them nearly impossible to find. The shifting sands bury and reveal these sites in cycles, while the extreme temperatures test the limits of both human endurance and modern technology. Archaeologists who brave these conditions face a daunting task. Tools can fail in the scorching heat, and delicate inscriptions can crumble at the slightest touch. Yet, it's this very fragility that makes each discovery so extraordinary. Each temple, each inscription, is a fragile thread connecting us to the past. And as we begin to unravel these threads, we're met with a tantalizing question. What did these ancient people want us to know? What secrets were so important that they went to such lengths to protect them? The first inscription we'll examine may hold the key, a cryptic message that could rewrite our understanding of history. But before we dive into its meaning, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer wonder of these temples and the stories they've guarded for millennia. The first inscription we encounter is unlike anything we've seen before. Carved into the weathered stone of a temple wall is a series of intricate symbols, circles, lines, and crescents that seem to dance across the surface in a deliberate pattern. At first glance, they might appear abstract, almost artistic, but to those who study them closely, these symbols tell a story far more profound. Researchers have determined that this isn't just random artwork, it's a celestial map, a coded message that aligns with the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. This inscription, now referred to as the Solar Alignment Code, appears to depict specific astronomical events, including solar eclipses. How did an ancient civilization, without the tools we have today, manage to track such precise celestial phenomena? The answer lies in their deep connection to the skies. For them, the heavens weren't just a backdrop to their lives, they were a guide, a calendar, and even a divine presence. By carefully observing the patterns of the sun and moon over generations, they developed a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, one that allowed them to predict eclipses with astonishing accuracy. The implications of this discovery are staggering. If this civilization could predict solar eclipses, it suggests they had a level of scientific knowledge that rivals, or perhaps even surpasses, what we previously believed possible for their time. Imagine the impact this would have had on their society. Eclipses, often seen as omens or divine messages, could have been anticipated and prepared for, giving their leaders and priests immense power and influence. This knowledge wouldn't just have been practical, it would have been sacred, a secret held by the few and passed down through the ages. But the solar alignment code doesn't just reveal their understanding of the skies, it also hints at their connection to the earth. The temple where this inscription was found is positioned in such a way that the sun's rays align perfectly with the symbols during specific times of the year. This suggests that the temple itself was a tool, a physical representation of their celestial knowledge. It's as if the building and the inscription were designed to work together, creating a living, breathing observatory that bridged the gap between the heavens and the earth. As we stand before this ancient code, it's impossible not to feel a sense of awe. These symbols, etched into stone thousands of years ago, speak to us across the ages, reminding us of the ingenuity and curiosity of those who came before. But this is just the beginning. The next inscription we'll explore takes us deeper into the mysteries of this civilization, into the realm of rituals and ceremonies that were as much about survival as they were about spirituality. What secrets lie hidden in the next set of symbols? What stories do they tell? The answers await just beyond the next wall. Moving deeper into the temple, our attention is drawn to a second inscription, one that seems to pulse with mystery. This one, known as the Ritual of Eternal Life, is etched into a shadowed alcove, its symbols swirling together in a pattern that feels almost alive. Unlike the celestial map we just explored, this inscription carries a different kind of weight, one that speaks not to the stars, but to the very essence of existence. The symbols here are intricate, layered with meaning, and at their core, they seem to describe a ritual, a sacred act believed to grant eternal life. The concept of immortality isn't unique to this civilization. Across the ancient world, from the pharaohs of Egypt to the emperors of China, the pursuit of eternal life has been a recurring theme. But what makes this inscription so fascinating is how it reflects a distinct worldview. The ritual described here isn't just about physical immortality. It's about transcending the boundaries of life and death, about becoming one with the cosmos. The symbols suggest a process that involves offerings, chants, and perhaps even a journey, a symbolic passage from the mortal realm to something beyond. One of the most striking details is the recurring motif of a spiral, a symbol often associated with cycles of life, death, and rebirth. This spiral appears to guide the ritual's participants, leading them through stages of purification and transformation. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply this civilization understood the interconnectedness of all things, how life, death, and the universe itself were seen as part of a continuous, unending cycle. But why would such a ritual be inscribed here, in this remote desert temple? The answer may lie in the temple's role as a spiritual sanctuary. For the people who built it, this place wasn't just a structure of stone, it was a bridge between worlds. The harsh environment of the desert, with its extreme heat and relentless winds, may have been seen as a metaphor for the trials one must endure to achieve immortality. The temple, then, becomes a place of transformation, where the living could commune with the divine and perhaps glimpse the eternal. This inscription challenges our understanding of their spiritual practices, revealing a level of sophistication and depth that goes beyond mere survival. It shows us a people who were deeply introspective, who sought answers to the most profound questions of existence, and yet, even as we marvel at their insights, we're left with more questions. What did this ritual truly entail? Did it offer solace, power, or something else entirely? The answers may be lost to time, but the echoes of their beliefs remain, carved into the stone for us to ponder. As we move forward, another inscription awaits, one that hints at a language long forgotten, a key to unlocking even more secrets. But before we turn our attention to that, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've just uncovered. The ritual of eternal life isn't just a relic of the past. It's a testament to the enduring human desire to understand our place in the universe. And as we continue our journey, we'll see how that desire connects us to those who came before and to the mysteries they left behind. As we venture further into the temple, the shadows seem to deepen, and the air grows heavier with the weight of history. Here, on a weathered stone slab, lies the third inscription, a puzzle that has baffled experts for decades. Unlike the celestial map or the ritual symbols we've encountered so far, this one is entirely different. It's a script, a series of characters that don't match any known ancient language. This is the lost language of the sands, a mysterious code that has yet to be cracked. The symbols are elegant yet enigmatic, flowing across the stone like a river of forgotten words. Some resemble hieroglyphs, while others bear a striking similarity to cuneiform, yet they don't align with either. Linguists and archaeologists have pored over these markings, comparing them to every known ancient script, from Linear to the Indus Valley symbols, but so far, no definitive match has been found. This inscription is a tantalizing enigma, a language that seems to exist outside the bounds of our current understanding. What makes this script so intriguing is the possibility that it could unlock a treasure trove of historical knowledge. If deciphered, it might reveal everything from daily life to political systems, from religious beliefs to scientific discoveries. Imagine the stories it could tell, stories of a civilization that thrived in the desert, whose voices have been silenced by time. But until someone cracks the code, these stories remain hidden, waiting for the right mind to uncover them. The challenge of decoding this language isn't just academic, it's deeply personal for the researchers involved. For them, it's like piecing together a puzzle where the picture is unknown, where every symbol could be a clue or a red herring. They analyze patterns, compare frequencies, and even use artificial intelligence to search for patterns that the human eye might miss. It's a race against time, as the elements threaten to erase these fragile marks forever. But while the lost language of the sands remains a mystery, it's not entirely silent. One theory suggests that this script could be a hybrid, blending elements of multiple languages from neighboring regions. If true, it would point to a civilization that was a crossroads of cultures, a melting pot of ideas and influences. This leads us to the next inscription, which offers a surprising clue about how this civilization might have connected with the wider world through trade. Just beyond the wall bearing the mysterious script, we find the fourth inscription, and it's unlike anything we've seen so far. This one doesn't focus on the heavens or the afterlife. Instead, It tells a story of commerce, of goods moving across vast distances. The symbols here depict caravans laden with goods traveling through the desert, but it's not just a simple depiction of trade. It's a map, a guide to the routes that connected this civilization to others. And as we'll soon discover, these routes were more than just pathways for goods. They were lifelines of knowledge, culture, and power. The sands may have hidden this story for centuries, but now it's beginning to emerge, one inscription at a time. The fourth inscription, etched into the temple's inner chamber, is a revelation not of gods or stars, but of commerce and connection. This time, the symbols don't depict celestial events or spiritual rituals. Instead, they form a map, a detailed guide to the ancient trade routes that once crisscrossed the desert. Stretching across the stone are lines that represent pathways, marked with symbols of camels, laden with goods, and oases where weary travelers could rest. This is the trade route map, a testament to the interconnectedness of the ancient world. At first glance, it might seem like a simple navigational tool, but this map is far more than that. It reveals a network of trade that linked this desert civilization to distant lands, from the fertile valleys of the Nile to the bustling markets of Mesopotamia. The goods exchanged along these routes weren't just material. They carried ideas, beliefs, and innovations. Spices, textiles, and precious metals flowed in one direction, while stories, technologies, and cultural practices traveled in the other. This inscription shows us that the desert wasn't a barrier, it was a bridge connecting people across vast distances. The significance of these trade routes can't be overstated. They weren't just economic lifelines, they were the arteries of civilization itself. Through them, knowledge spread, alliances were forged, and cultures blended in ways that shaped the ancient world. Imagine the caravans, guided by the stars and the inscriptions like this one, moving through the harsh desert under the watchful eyes of traders and merchants. These routes weren't just about wealth, they were about survival, growth, and the exchange of ideas that drove human progress. What's particularly fascinating is how this map reflects the ingenuity of its creators. The symbols marking oases and water sources are meticulously placed, suggesting an intimate knowledge of the desert's hidden resources. It's a reminder that survival in such a harsh environment required more than strength. It demanded wisdom, planning, and cooperation. This inscription, then, isn't just a map. It's a story of resilience and adaptation, a blueprint for thriving in one of the world's most challenging landscapes. But as we marvel at this ancient network of trade, we're reminded that not all connections were peaceful. The next inscription, found just beyond this map, tells a darker story, one of conflict, conquest, and the struggle for power. While trade routes brought prosperity, they also attracted those who sought to control them. The fifth inscription, carved with sharp, jagged lines, depicts scenes of war, armies clashing, cities burning, and the rise and fall of empires. It's a stark contrast to the cooperation and exchange we've just explored, and it raises a question. How did this civilization navigate the tension between peace and war, between connection and conquest? As we turn our attention to this next chapter, we're reminded that history is never just one story. It's a tapestry woven from countless threads, each one adding depth and complexity to the picture. And as we continue to unravel these inscriptions, we're not just uncovering the past, we're discovering the forces that shaped it and the lessons they hold for us today. The fifth inscription, stark and unyielding, tells a story of blood and fire, a tale of two kingdoms locked in a struggle that would reshape the region forever. Known as the Chronicle of the Forgotten War, this section of the temple wall is filled with jagged lines and chaotic symbols, depicting armies clashing, cities engulfed in flames, and the rise and fall of leaders. Unlike the celestial maps or trade routes we've explored, this inscription is raw and visceral, a first-hand account of conflict that offers a rare glimpse into the realities of ancient warfare. Historians believe this battle took place during a time of shifting power, when one kingdom sought to expand its influence while another fought desperately to hold onto its territory. The inscription doesn't just describe the events, it captures the emotions, the fear, the fury, and the despair of those caught in the crossfire. Symbols of warriors with raised weapons are juxtaposed with images of civilians fleeing, their faces etched with terror. It's a stark reminder that even in the ancient world, war was never just about kings and armies, it was about people, ordinary lives torn apart by the ambitions of the powerful. What makes this inscription so valuable is its perspective. Most accounts of ancient battles come from the victors, glorifying their triumphs and downplaying the cost. But here, the tone is different. There's no clear hero, no triumphant conclusion. Instead, the inscription seems to mourn the loss, the destruction of cities, the collapse of alliances, and the human toll of a conflict that left scars on the land and its people. It's a rare glimpse into the complexity of ancient politics, where power struggles were as much about survival as they were about dominance. The impact of this war extended far beyond the battlefield. The inscription hints at a shift in the region's balance of power, with one kingdom emerging weakened and the other emboldened to expand its influence. Trade routes were disrupted, alliances fractured, and entire communities displaced. The echoes of this conflict would ripple through the region for generations, shaping the cultural and political landscape in ways that are still being uncovered today. But as we stand before this somber record of history, we're reminded that every ending is also a beginning. Just beyond the Chronicle of the Forgotten War lies the Sixth Inscription, a mysterious prophecy that seems to look beyond the chaos of battle to a future yet to unfold. What did the ancients see in their visions of tomorrow, and how might their predictions resonate with us today? The answers await, etched into the next stone, ready to reveal a new layer of this civilization's enigmatic story. As we step away from the somber echoes of war, the Sixth Inscription offers a striking shift in tone, a glimpse into the mystical and the prophetic. Known as the Prophecy of the Sands, this section of the temple wall is filled with swirling patterns and cryptic symbols that seem to pulse with a strange energy. Unlike the earlier inscriptions, which focused on historical events or practical knowledge, this one speaks of the future, a vision of a great empire destined to rise, flourish, and ultimately fall. It's a powerful reminder that for this civilization, time wasn't just linear, it was cyclical, a never-ending loop of creation and destruction. Prophecies like this one held immense significance in ancient societies. They weren't just predictions, they were tools of power, shaping the decisions of rulers, priests, and even ordinary people. A prophecy could inspire hope, justify conquest, or warn of impending doom. In this case, the inscription seems to describe a series of events: wars, natural disasters, and the eventual collapse of a once mighty empire. But what's most intriguing is how it reflects the worldview of its creators. For them, the rise and fall of empires wasn't just a matter of politics or economics. It was part of a cosmic order, a divine plan that governed the fate of nations. Did this prophecy come true? Scholars are divided. Some argue that it aligns with the known history of a neighboring empire that rose to prominence only to crumble under its own weight. Others believe it's a more general warning about the fragility of power, a timeless message that resonates far beyond the ancient world. Whatever the case, the prophecy of the sands offers a fascinating window into how this civilization understood their place in the universe. They saw themselves not as masters of their destiny, but as participants in a grand, unfolding story, one where the past, present, and future were deeply intertwined. But as we contemplate the mysteries of this prophetic text, our attention is drawn to the next inscription, just a few steps away. This one, unlike the others, doesn't focus on the spiritual or the political. Instead, it reveals something far more tangible, an astonishing feat of engineering that challenges our understanding of ancient technology. What secrets lie hidden in the seventh inscription? How did this civilization achieve such remarkable feats without the tools we take for granted today? The answers, like the sands themselves, are waiting to be uncovered. The seventh inscription, etched into a smooth, weathered slab of stone, reveals a marvel of ancient ingenuity, a detailed blueprint of a water management system so advanced it defies expectations. Known as the Aqueduct of the Sands, this intricate design shows a network of channels, reservoirs, and wells that allowed this civilization to not only survive but thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. The precision of the carving is astonishing, with lines that map out the flow of water from distant mountains to the heart of their desert settlements. It's a testament to their ability to harness nature's resources with remarkable skill and foresight. What makes this system so extraordinary is the level of engineering knowledge it reveals. The inscription shows a series of underground tunnels, known as canats, designed to tap into underground aquifers and transport water over long distances without evaporating under the scorching sun. These tunnels, often dozens of meters deep, required an intimate understanding of geology, hydrology, and physics. The builders had to calculate gradients, account for soil composition, and ensure the tunnels were stable enough to withstand the test of time. It's a level of sophistication that rivals modern engineering projects, yet it was achieved thousands of years ago with nothing but simple tools and human ingenuity. The implications of this water system are profound. In a landscape where water was more precious than gold, this network transformed barren deserts into fertile oases, supporting agriculture, trade, and even large populations. It's a reminder that innovation isn't just about flashy technology. Sometimes, it's about solving the most basic yet vital challenges of survival. The Aqueduct of the Sands didn't just sustain a civilization, it enabled it to flourish, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire engineers and historians today. But as we marvel at this ancient feat of engineering, we're reminded that this civilization's genius wasn't limited to practical solutions. Just a few steps away, the eighth inscription offers a stark contrast, a stunning display of artistry that reveals another dimension of their culture. This one isn't about survival or science, it's about beauty, expression, and the human spirit. What stories do these ancient artworks tell, and how do they connect to the practical innovations we've just explored? The answers lie just ahead, waiting to be uncovered. The eighth inscription is a breathtaking departure from the practical and the prophetic, a stunning display of artistry that speaks to the soul. Known as the masterpiece of the ancients, this section of the temple wall is alive with intricate carvings that seem to dance in the flickering light. Here, the stone itself becomes a canvas, transformed by hands that wielded chisels with the precision of a master painter's brush. The level of detail is astonishing. Delicate floral patterns intertwine with geometric designs, while human figures and animals are rendered with such lifelike accuracy that they almost seem to breathe. What sets this inscription apart is not just its beauty, but the skill it reveals. The artisans who created this work used a technique known as bas relief, carving the figures so they stand slightly raised from the background. This creates a play of light and shadow, giving the carvings a sense of depth and movement. The figures themselves are rich with symbolism: birds representing freedom, serpents embodying wisdom, and human forms that seem to capture the essence of emotion itself. It's a visual language, one that speaks volumes about the values and beliefs of this ancient culture. The cultural significance of this masterpiece can't be overstated. Art in this civilization wasn't just decoration, it was a form of communication, a way to convey ideas, stories, and spiritual truths. The imagery here reflects a deep connection to nature, a reverence for balance and harmony, and a celebration of the human spirit. It's a reminder that even in a harsh and unforgiving environment, beauty and creativity flourished. This inscription challenges our modern assumptions about ancient societies, showing us that they were not just focused on survival, they were also capable of profound artistic expression. But as we stand before this ancient gallery of stone, we're reminded that this civilization's genius wasn't confined to art or engineering. Just a few steps away lies the ninth inscription, a discovery that takes us into an entirely new realm, one of medicine and healing. What did these ancient people know about the human body? How did they treat illness and injury in a world without modern technology? The answers, like the secrets of their art, are waiting to be revealed. The ninth inscription, known as the medical manuscript, offers a fascinating glimpse into the ancient world of healing and science. Carved into a smooth, polished section of the temple wall, this inscription is unlike any we've encountered so far. Instead of celestial maps or artistic masterpieces, it presents a meticulously detailed catalog of medicinal plants, treatments, and even surgical techniques. Each symbol and diagram is a testament to the civilization's deep understanding of the natural world and the human body. From descriptions of herbs used to treat fevers to intricate illustrations of bone-setting methods, this inscription reveals a level of medical knowledge that rivals, and in some cases surpasses, what was known in other parts of the ancient world. What's particularly striking is how practical and precise this information is. The inscription doesn't just list plants, it explains how to prepare them, when to use them, and what conditions they treat. There are even instructions for creating poultices, ointments, and teas, each tailored to specific ailments. One section details a treatment for infections using a combination of honey and crushed leaves, a remedy that modern science has since confirmed for its antibacterial properties. Another describes a technique for resetting dislocated joints, showing a clear understanding of anatomy and biomechanics. It's a remarkable blend of empirical observation and practical application, suggesting that this civilization's healers were both scientists and caregivers. The implications of this discovery are profound. Not only does it challenge our assumptions about ancient medical practices, but it also raises intriguing possibilities for modern healthcare. Could some of these ancient remedies hold the key to new treatments? Researchers are already exploring how these old-world techniques might complement contemporary medicine, particularly in areas like herbal medicine and holistic healing. The medical manuscript isn't just a relic of the past, it's a bridge to the future, offering insights that could benefit us today. But as we marvel at this ancient knowledge, we're reminded that the temple's inscriptions aren't just about science or survival. They're about the full spectrum of human experience: joy, sorrow, triumph, and heartbreak. And it's this emotional depth that brings us to the 10th inscription, a story etched into the stone with raw intensity. Here, the symbols shift from the clinical to the deeply personal, telling a tale of love, betrayal, and the enduring power of human connection. What secrets does this inscription hold? And how does it connect to the other stories we've uncovered? The answers await, just beyond the next turn in the temple's ancient halls. The 10th inscription, known as the Tale of Forbidden Love, is a poignant reminder that the lives of ancient people were as rich and complex as our own. Here, the temple walls come alive with a story that could easily belong to a modern novel or film, a tale of two lovers, bound by passion but torn apart by the rigid structures of their society. The symbols are vivid and emotive, depicting scenes of clandestine meetings, whispered promises, and ultimately, a betrayal that shattered their world. It's a narrative that transcends time, reminding us that love, heartbreak, and the struggle for freedom are universal experiences. This story isn't just about romance, it's a window into the cultural and social norms of the time. The lovers, depicted as a noblewoman and a warrior, come from different castes or social classes, making their relationship taboo. The inscription captures the tension between personal desire and societal expectations, a theme that resonates deeply even today. The noblewoman is shown defying her family's wishes, while the warrior risks his reputation and even his life to be with her. Their story is one of courage and defiance, but also of the heavy cost that comes with challenging the status quo. What makes this inscription so compelling is how human it feels. The symbols convey raw emotion, joy, longing, despair, in a way that feels strikingly modern. It's a reminder that ancient people weren't so different from us. They too grappled with questions of identity, loyalty, and love. The tale of forbidden love doesn't just tell us about their world, it invites us to see ourselves in their struggles, to recognize the timeless nature of the human experience. But as we reflect on this deeply personal story, we're reminded that the temple's inscriptions don't just reveal the emotional lives of this civilization, they also hold clues to their material wealth. Just a few steps away lies the 11th inscription, which shifts the focus from the personal to the tangible. This one isn't about love or loss, it's about treasure, a hidden cache of riches that has sparked the imagination of explorers and historians for centuries. What secrets does this next inscription hold, and what might it tell us about the wealth and power of this ancient society? The answers await, etched into the stone, ready to reveal yet another layer of this civilization's enigmatic story. The 11th inscription, etched into a towering slab of stone, is unlike any we've encountered so far. Known as the treasure map, this intricate carving seems to hold the key to unimaginable wealth, a hidden cache of gold, jewels, and artifacts buried somewhere in the desert. The symbols here are strikingly different from the celestial maps or artistic masterpieces we've seen before. Instead, they form a labyrinth of lines, dots, and cryptic markers that appear to point the way to a secret location. It's a tantalizing puzzle, one that has captured the imaginations of treasure hunters and historians alike for centuries. Legends surrounding this treasure are as old as the desert itself. Stories speak of a king who, fearing invasion, ordered his riches to be hidden deep within the sands, protected by traps and riddles. The map, it's said, was created as a guide for those deemed worthy to find it, a test of both intellect and integrity. Over the years, countless expeditions have set out to uncover this treasure, lured by the promise of untold wealth. Yet, for all the effort and resources poured into the search, the treasure remains elusive, its location still shrouded in mystery. But the pursuit of this treasure raises important ethical questions. Should such artifacts be recovered, Or is it better to leave them undisturbed, preserving the sanctity of their resting place? The debate is complex. On one hand, uncovering these treasures could provide invaluable insights into the culture and history of this ancient civilization. On the other, removing them risks damaging the context in which they were found, stripping away layers of meaning that can only be understood in their original setting. It's a delicate balance between discovery and preservation, one that challenges us to think carefully about how we engage with the past. As we contemplate the mysteries of the treasure map, we're reminded that this temple's inscriptions aren't just about wealth or conflict, they're about the full spectrum of human endeavor. And it's this breadth of knowledge that brings us to the 12th inscription, a discovery that takes us into the realm of ancient science. Here, the symbols shift from the material to the intellectual, revealing a civilization that was as curious about the workings of the universe as it was about the treasures beneath its feet. What secrets lie hidden in this next inscription, and how might they reshape our understanding of ancient innovation? The answers await, just beyond the next turn in the temple's ancient halls. The 12th inscription, known as the Astronomical calendar, is a masterpiece of ancient timekeeping. Carved into the temple wall with astonishing precision, this intricate system of symbols and lines forms a sophisticated calendar that tracks the movements of celestial bodies. Unlike modern calendars, which rely on fixed dates, this one is deeply tied to the rhythms of the cosmos, aligning with the sun, moon, and stars to mark the passage of time. It's a testament to the civilization's profound connection to the heavens and their ability to harness that knowledge for practical purposes. At the heart of this calendar is a series of concentric circles, each representing a different celestial cycle. The outer ring tracks the sun, marking solstices and equinoxes with pinpoint accuracy. The inner rings follow the phases of the moon, while smaller symbols represent the positions of key stars and constellations. Together, they form a dynamic system that not only measured time, but also guided agricultural activities. Farmers could use this calendar to determine the best times for planting and harvesting, ensuring their crops thrived in the harsh desert environment. The scientific achievements reflected in this calendar are nothing short of extraordinary. By meticulously observing the skies over generations, this civilization developed a deep understanding of astronomy that rivals even modern methods. They could predict solar eclipses, track seasonal changes, and even use the stars for navigation. It's a level of sophistication that challenges our assumptions about ancient societies, revealing a people who were not only skilled engineers and artists, but also pioneering scientists. But the astronomical calendar isn't just a tool for survival, it's also a window into their worldview. For this civilization, time wasn't just a linear progression, it was a sacred cycle, governed by the movements of celestial bodies. The calendar reflects a belief in the interconnectedness of all things, where the heavens and the earth were part of a single, harmonious system. It's a reminder that their achievements weren't just practical, they were deeply spiritual, rooted in a reverence for the natural world. As we marvel at this ancient feat of timekeeping, our attention shifts to the next inscription, just a few steps away. This one, unlike the others, features a single, mysterious symbol, a mark that has baffled researchers for decades. What does it mean, and how does it connect to the other inscriptions we've uncovered? The answers lie ahead, waiting to be revealed. The 13th inscription, known as the symbol of power, stands out immediately for its bold, recurring design. Dominating the temple wall is a single, striking emblem, a circle intersected by a vertical line, crowned with a crescent. This symbol appears again and again throughout the temple, carved with deliberate precision and often placed in prominent positions. Scholars believe it represents the pinnacle of authority, a visual shorthand for power that transcended language and time. But what does it truly mean, and why was it so important to this civilization? The cultural significance of this symbol is profound. In many ancient societies, symbols like this weren't just decorative. They were imbued with meaning, serving as markers of identity, status, and belief. Here, the circle is thought to represent unity or eternity, the vertical line a connection between the earthly and the divine, and the crescent a nod to the moon, a celestial body often associated with cycles of renewal and power. Together, these elements create a powerful emblem that likely signified the ruler's divine right to govern, a concept that was central to the civilization's political and spiritual life. This symbol wasn't confined to the temple walls. Archaeologists have found it etched into royal seals, stamped on official documents, and even woven into the fabric of ceremonial garments. It was a visual language, one that communicated authority to both the elite and the common people. During rituals, priests may have invoked this symbol to legitimize the ruler's power, reinforcing the idea that their leadership was not just a matter of tradition or conquest, but a divine mandate. But the symbol of power isn't just about governance, it's about connection. This same emblem appears in other inscriptions we've explored, subtly linking themes of celestial knowledge, spiritual rituals, and even trade. It's a reminder that power in this civilization wasn't isolated. It was intertwined with every aspect of life, from the heavens above to the earth below. The symbol serves as a thread, weaving together the diverse stories told by the temple's walls into a cohesive narrative of a society that saw itself as part of a greater whole. As we step away from this powerful emblem, our attention is drawn to the next inscription, a stark contrast in both tone and content. Here, the symbols shift from the static to the dynamic, telling a story not of power, but of movement, of a people who left their homes in search of a new beginning. What drove this ancient migration, and what can it tell us about the resilience and adaptability of this civilization? The answers are etched into the stone, waiting to be uncovered. The 14th inscription, known as the Migration Chronicle, tells a story of resilience and hope, a tale of people who dared to leave everything behind in search of a new beginning. Carved into the temple wall with sweeping, fluid lines, this inscription depicts a long and arduous journey across deserts, mountains, and rivers. The symbols show families with belongings strapped to their backs, camels laden with supplies, and leaders guiding their people through treacherous terrain. It's a vivid portrayal of a momentous decision to abandon the familiar for the unknown, driven by forces that would shape the destiny of their civilization. The reasons for this migration are as complex as they are compelling. Scholars believe it was sparked by a combination of environmental and social pressures, perhaps a prolonged drought, dwindling resources, or even conflict with neighboring groups. Whatever the catalyst, the decision to leave was not made lightly. The inscription captures the tension of that choice, showing both the desperation of those forced to flee and the determination of those who saw opportunity in the unknown. It's a reminder that migration is one of humanity's oldest stories, a response to challenges that transcends time and place. What makes this inscription particularly fascinating is its attention to detail. The symbols depict not just the journey itself, but the challenges along the way, scenes of exhaustion, moments of camaraderie, and glimpses of the new land they hope to call home. One striking image shows a group of travelers gathered around a fire, their faces etched with weariness but also hope. Another shows them crossing a river, their hands joined to steady one another against the current. These details humanize the story, transforming it from a historical event into a deeply personal experience. The impact of this migration was profound, not just for the travelers but for the region as a whole. As they settled in their new homeland, they brought with them their culture, knowledge, and traditions, enriching the area and forging new connections with neighboring peoples. The inscription suggests that this journey was more than just a survival tactic. It was a catalyst for change, a moment that reshaped the cultural and political landscape of the ancient world. As we reflect on the Migration Chronicle, we're reminded of the timeless nature of this story. It's a narrative of courage, adaptation, and the enduring human spirit, one that resonates as much today as it did thousands of years ago. But this isn't the end of the tale. Just beyond this inscription lies another, one that takes us into the realm of myth and legend. The 15th inscription, with its cryptic symbols and enigmatic figures, hints at a surprising connection to the stories that have shaped human imagination for millennia. What secrets does it hold, and how does it tie the past to the present? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to reveal yet another layer of this civilization's extraordinary story. The 15th inscription, known as the Mythological Connection, offers a stunning revelation, a link between this ancient civilization and a story that has echoed through time. Carved into the temple wall with intricate detail, this inscription depicts a familiar scene: a great flood, a lone boat, and a figure releasing a bird to search for dry land. It's a narrative that mirrors the ancient Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known stories in human history. But how did this tale, born in the Fertile Crescent, find its way onto the walls of a desert temple thousands of miles away? This connection isn't just a coincidence, it's a clue to something far more profound. The similarities between the two stories suggest a shared cultural heritage, a thread of belief that may have traveled along trade routes or through oral traditions passed down over generations. It's a reminder that ancient societies weren't isolated. They were part of a vast, interconnected network of ideas, stories, and beliefs. This inscription challenges our understanding of mythology, showing that these tales weren't confined to a single culture or region. Instead, they were living narratives, evolving and adapting as they spread across the ancient world. What's particularly fascinating is how this flood story was adapted to fit the worldview of the desert civilization. Here, the flood isn't just a punishment or a test. It's a symbol of renewal, a force that reshapes the land and offers a fresh start. The figure in the boat isn't merely a survivor, they're a hero, a symbol of resilience and hope in the face of overwhelming odds. This reinterpretation reflects the values and experiences of the people who carved it into the stone, showing how they made the story their own. But this inscription doesn't just tell us about the past, it invites us to reconsider the present. How many other myths and legends might have traveled across borders, shaping cultures in ways we're only beginning to understand? The mythological connection is a testament to the power of storytelling, a reminder that even in the ancient world, stories were a bridge between peoples, connecting them across time and space. As we step away from this profound revelation, our attention is drawn to the next inscription, just a few steps ahead. This one, unlike the others, doesn't just tell a story, it reveals a secret. The 16th inscription, etched into a recessed section of the temple wall, hints at something extraordinary, a hidden chamber concealed for centuries. What lies beyond this mysterious doorway, and what might it tell us about the civilization that built it? The answers are waiting, just beyond the stone, ready to unveil yet another layer of this ancient enigma. The 16th inscription, known as the Chamber of Secrets, is unlike any we've encountered so far. Etched into a recessed alcove of the temple wall, this cryptic message doesn't just tell a story, it points to a physical location, a hidden space concealed within the temple itself. The symbols here are stark and direct, depicting a series of passageways, a central chamber, and what appears to be a sealed doorway. It's a tantalizing clue, one that suggests this temple holds more than just inscriptions. It may contain a treasure trove of artifacts, documents, or even relics that could unlock the deepest secrets of this ancient civilization. Theories about what lies within this hidden chamber are as varied as they are fascinating. Some scholars believe it could house the personal belongings of a powerful ruler, perhaps even the remains of a king or queen whose identity has been lost to time. Others speculate that it might contain sacred texts or scrolls, a library of knowledge preserved for future generations. And then there are those who think it could hold something even more extraordinary, a technological marvel or an artifact of such significance that it could rewrite our understanding of history. Efforts to uncover this chamber have been fraught with challenges. The temple's structure is delicate, and any attempt to breach the hidden space risks damaging the inscriptions and artifacts that surround it. Modern technology, like ground-penetrating radar and 3D imaging, has provided tantalizing glimpses of what might lie beyond the sealed doorway, but the full picture remains elusive. For now, the Chamber of Secrets remains just that, a mystery waiting to be solved, a puzzle that continues to captivate explorers and historians alike. What makes this discovery so significant is not just what it might contain, but what it tells us about the people who built it. The very existence of a hidden chamber suggests a level of foresight and intentionality that speaks to their values. They didn't just want to preserve their knowledge, they wanted to protect it, to ensure that only those deemed worthy could access it. It's a reminder that for this civilization, secrecy and revelation were two sides of the same coin, each playing a vital role in their understanding of the world. As we stand before this enigmatic inscription, our attention shifts to the next discovery, just a few steps away. The 17th inscription, etched into the temple's innermost sanctum, reveals something entirely unexpected, a technological innovation so advanced that it challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient engineering. What secrets does this next inscription hold, and how might it reshape our understanding of this civilization's achievements? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to reveal yet another layer of this ancient enigma. The 17th inscription, known as the Ancient Machine, is a marvel that has left researchers both baffled and captivated. Etched into the temple's innermost sanctum, this intricate carving depicts what appears to be a sophisticated mechanical device, unlike anything we've seen from this civilization before. The symbols show gears, levers, and what might be a series of interconnected chambers or compartments, all arranged in a complex, almost futuristic design. At first glance, it's hard to believe such a machine could have existed thousands of years ago, yet the precision of the carving suggests this was no mere flight of imagination. It was a real, functional device. Scholars have been working tirelessly to piece together how this machine might have worked. Using the inscription as a blueprint, they've proposed several theories, ranging from a water pumping system designed to irrigate crops in the desert to a device for astronomical calculations, aligning with the civilization's known expertise in celestial observation. Some even suggest it could have been a form of early clockwork, a precursor to the mechanical clocks that wouldn't appear in the Western world for millennia. The level of engineering required to create such a device is staggering, hinting at a level of technological advancement that challenges our understanding of ancient innovation. The implications of this discovery are profound. If this civilization was capable of building machines of this complexity, it forces us to rethink their place in history. Were they far more advanced than we've given them credit for? Could their knowledge have influenced later societies, perhaps even laying the groundwork for some of the technological leaps we associate with the ancient Greeks or Romans? These questions aren't just academic, they're a reminder that history is full of surprises, and that the past often holds secrets that can reshape our understanding of human progress. As we marvel at the ingenuity behind the ancient machine, our journey through the temple's inscriptions takes an unexpected turn. Just beyond this mechanical marvel lies the 18th inscription, a stark contrast in both tone and content. Here, the focus shifts from technology to governance, as the symbols reveal a set of laws that govern this civilization's daily life. What rules did they live by? And how did their legal system shape their society? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to reveal yet another layer of this ancient world. The 18th inscription, known as the Legal Code, offers a rare and fascinating glimpse into the rules that shaped daily life in this ancient civilization. Carved into a wide, flat section of the temple wall, this inscription is a stark departure from the celestial maps and technological marvels we've explored. Instead, it presents a series of clear, concise symbols that outline laws, rights, and responsibilities. At first glance, it might seem like a dry list of rules, but upon closer inspection, it reveals a sophisticated system of governance that reflects the values and priorities of this society. The laws themselves cover a wide range of topics, from property rights and trade agreements to family matters and criminal justice. One symbol, for example, depicts a set of scales, representing fairness in trade and the importance of honesty in commerce. Another shows a figure standing between two individuals, likely symbolizing the role of mediators in resolving disputes. These laws weren't just about maintaining order, they were about fostering trust and cooperation within the community. It's a reminder that this civilization valued stability and fairness, even in the face of the harsh realities of desert life. What's particularly striking is how progressive some of these laws appear to be. One section outlines protections for women and children, ensuring they had rights to property and inheritance, a level of gender equity that was far ahead of its time. Another emphasizes the importance of community welfare, with rules about sharing resources during times of scarcity. These laws weren't just about punishing wrongdoing, they were about creating a society where everyone had a role to play and where the well-being of the community was prioritized over individual gain. The legal code also sheds light on the civilization's approach to justice. Rather than relying on harsh punishments, the laws seem to focus on restitution and reconciliation. Symbols of hands clasped in agreement appear frequently, suggesting that conflict resolution often involved negotiation and compromise. This emphasis on harmony and balance aligns with the other inscriptions we've explored, from the celestial maps to the artistic masterpieces, painting a picture of a society deeply committed to the idea of interconnectedness. As we reflect on the insights provided by the legal code, our journey through the temple's inscriptions takes another intriguing turn. Just beyond this section of laws lies the 19th inscription, a stark contrast in both tone and content. Here, the symbols shift from the orderly and practical to the mysterious and spiritual, revealing a ritual shrouded in secrecy. What secrets does this next inscription hold? And how does it connect to the laws and values we've just explored? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to unveil yet another layer of this ancient civilization's story. The 19th inscription, known as the Ritual of the Eclipse, unveils a mesmerizing connection between this ancient civilization and the celestial dance of the sun and moon. Carved into a section of the temple wall that seems to shimmer in the light, this inscription depicts a sacred ceremony performed during a solar eclipse. The symbols are vivid and dynamic, showing figures gathered in a circle, their arms raised toward the darkened sky, as if drawing power from the event itself. It's a scene that captures both the awe and the reverence this civilization held for the heavens, a moment when the ordinary world gave way to something extraordinary. This ritual wasn't just a spectacle, it was a deeply spiritual act, rooted in the belief that eclipses were moments of cosmic transformation. For this civilization, the temporary obscuring of the sun wasn't a random event, it was a divine message, a time when the boundaries between the earthly and the celestial realms blurred. The inscription describes offerings of food, water, and precious objects, all presented to the gods in hopes of ensuring the sun's return. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply intertwined their lives were with the rhythms of the universe. What makes this ritual particularly fascinating is its parallels to practices in other ancient cultures. From the Maya, who saw eclipses as omens of change, to the ancient Chinese, who believed they were caused by a celestial dragon devouring the sun, eclipses held a universal significance. This inscription suggests that the desert civilization shared a similar worldview, one where celestial events were not just observed but actively engaged with. The ritual wasn't passive, it was a way to participate in the cosmos, to align themselves with the forces that shaped their world. The ritual of the eclipse also reveals a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. The inscription includes symbols that mark the precise timing of the event, showing that this civilization could predict eclipses with remarkable accuracy. This knowledge wasn't just scientific, it was sacred, a testament to their belief that the heavens held the key to understanding their place in the universe. By performing this ritual, they weren't just honoring the gods, they were reaffirming their connection to the cosmos itself. As we step away from this profound moment of celestial reverence, our attention shifts to the next inscription, just a few steps ahead. The 20th inscription, etched into a weathered stone slab, tells a very different story, one not of the heavens, but of the earth. Here, the symbols depict a tale of survival, of a people enduring unimaginable hardship in the face of a changing world. What challenges did they face, and how did they overcome them? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to reveal yet another chapter in this civilization's extraordinary story. The 20th inscription, known as the Survival Guide, offers a striking glimpse into the practical wisdom of this ancient civilization. Unlike the celestial maps or spiritual rituals we've explored, this set of symbols focuses on something far more immediate: how to survive in the harsh, unforgiving desert. Carved into a weathered stone slab, the inscription is a testament to their ingenuity and resourcefulness, providing a step-by-step guide to navigating the challenges of their environment. From finding water to identifying edible plants, the symbols reveal a deep understanding of the land and its secrets. What stands out most is the sheer practicality of the advice. One section depicts a method for extracting water from the roots of certain desert plants, a technique still used by some nomadic tribes today. Another shows how to construct temporary shelters using sand and woven reeds, offering protection from the relentless sun and biting winds. The precision of these instructions suggests that this wasn't just theoretical knowledge, it was born from generations of lived experience, passed down and refined over time. This inscription also highlights the resilience and adaptability of the people who created it. Living in such a harsh environment required more than just physical endurance. It demanded creativity, problem-solving, and a willingness to learn from the land itself. The survival guide isn't just a list of tips. It's a reflection of their relationship with the desert, one built on respect and a deep understanding of its rhythms. But what makes this discovery particularly fascinating is how it connects to the broader themes we've uncovered. The survival guide isn't just about survival, it's about thriving. By mastering their environment, this civilization was able to build temples, develop advanced technologies, and create a rich cultural legacy. It's a reminder that resilience isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about finding ways to flourish despite it. As we step away from this remarkable inscription, our attention is drawn to the next discovery, just a few steps ahead. The 21st inscription, etched into a smooth, polished section of the temple wall, reveals something entirely unexpected, a groundbreaking artistic technique that challenges our understanding of ancient creativity. What secrets does this next inscription hold, and how does it reflect the ingenuity of this civilization? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to unveil yet another layer of this ancient world's extraordinary story. The 21st inscription, known as the Art of Illusion, is a masterpiece that challenges not just our eyes, but our understanding of ancient creativity itself. Etched into a smooth, polished section of the temple wall, this inscription is unlike anything we've encountered so far. At first glance, it appears to be a series of abstract patterns, geometric shapes and flowing lines that seem to dance across the stone. But as you step closer or shift your perspective, the patterns come alive, revealing hidden images and optical tricks that leave you questioning what's real and what's imagined. It's a stunning display of artistry and ingenuity, one that demonstrates a profound understanding of human perception and the power of visual storytelling. The techniques used to create these illusions are nothing short of extraordinary. The artisans employed a method known as anamorphosis, where images are distorted in such a way that they only become clear when viewed from a specific angle or distance. This required not only incredible skill, but also a deep knowledge of geometry and perspective concepts that we often associate with much later periods in art history. The result is a series of images that seem to shift and change as you move, creating a dynamic, almost interactive experience. One moment, you see a bird in flight; the next, it transforms into a coiled serpent, its scales glinting in the light. It's a testament to the creativity and technical prowess of this ancient civilization. But what makes this inscription truly remarkable is its cultural significance. These illusions weren't just decorative, they were deeply symbolic, designed to convey messages or evoke emotions. The shifting images likely held spiritual or mythological meaning, perhaps representing the duality of life and death, or the fluid nature of reality itself. For the people who created them, these illusions were more than just art. They were a way to engage with the mysteries of existence, to blur the lines between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. This discovery challenges our understanding of ancient art in profound ways. It shows that this civilization wasn't just capable of creating static representations of their world. They were exploring the very nature of perception, pushing the boundaries of what art could achieve. It's a reminder that creativity and innovation are timeless, and that even thousands of years ago, people were grappling with ideas that still captivate us today. As we step away from this mesmerizing display of artistic genius, our journey through the temple's inscriptions takes another intriguing turn. Just a few steps ahead lies the 22nd inscription, a discovery that shifts the focus from the visual to the textual. Here, the symbols form not just images, but words, a hidden message, carefully encoded and waiting to be deciphered. What secrets does this next inscription hold? And what might it reveal about the people who left it behind? The answers are waiting, etched into the stone, ready to unveil yet another layer of this ancient civilization's extraordinary story. The 22nd inscription, etched into a narrow section of the temple wall, is unlike anything we've encountered so far. Known as the coded message, this inscription is a labyrinth of symbols, each one meticulously arranged in a pattern that defies immediate understanding. At first glance, it appears to be a chaotic jumble of shapes and lines, but researchers believe it's a deliberate code, an ancient cipher designed to conceal a message of profound importance. The symbols don't resemble any known language or writing system, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this already enigmatic discovery. Efforts to decode this message have been both painstaking and innovative. Linguists, cryptographers, and historians have joined forces, employing a range of techniques to crack the code. Some are using frequency analysis, a method that looks for patterns in how often certain symbols appear, while others are experimenting with artificial intelligence to identify potential linguistic structures. Despite these advanced tools, progress has been slow. The code is resistant to traditional methods, suggesting it may have been designed with a level of sophistication that rivals even modern encryption techniques. The potential significance of this message is immense. If decoded, it could reveal anything from a secret history of the civilization to instructions for accessing hidden chambers or treasures. Some speculate it might contain a philosophical or spiritual text, offering insights into their worldview. Others believe it could be a practical guide, perhaps detailing advanced technologies or survival strategies. Whatever its contents, the coded message is a tantalizing puzzle, one that underscores the depth of knowledge and ingenuity possessed by this ancient people. This inscription also deepens the mystery of the desert temples. Why go to such lengths to conceal a message? Was it meant to protect sacred knowledge, or to ensure only the worthy could access it? The very existence of this code suggests that the temple's creators valued secrecy and exclusivity, perhaps viewing knowledge as something to be guarded rather than shared. It's a stark contrast to our modern emphasis on transparency, and it raises questions about the role of knowledge in their society. As we stand before this cryptic enigma, our attention shifts to the next inscription, just a short distance away. The 23rd inscription, etched into a grand, towering slab of stone, tells a story not of secrets but of leadership, a tale of a great ruler whose legacy shaped the destiny of this civilization. What lessons can we learn from this ancient leader, and how does their story connect to the mysteries we've uncovered so far? The answers lie ahead, waiting to be revealed. The 23rd inscription, known as the Legacy of a King, offers a fascinating glimpse into the life and rule of a leader whose influence shaped the destiny of this ancient civilization. Carved into a towering slab of stone, the symbols depict a regal figure surrounded by scenes of triumph and prosperity, cities rising from the desert, bountiful harvests, and vast trade networks stretching across the land. This king, whose name has been lost to time, is portrayed not just as a ruler, but as a visionary whose leadership brought stability and innovation to his people. The historical context of his reign is as intriguing as the inscription itself. Scholars believe he ruled during a period of expansion and transformation, when the civilization was transitioning from a collection of scattered settlements to a unified, thriving society. The symbols suggest that he implemented sweeping reforms, from infrastructure projects like the aqueducts we've explored earlier to policies that promoted trade and cultural exchange. His reign appears to have been a golden age, a time when art, science, and governance flourished in harmony. What makes this inscription particularly valuable is the insight it provides into the values of the time. The king is depicted not as a distant, authoritarian figure, but as a leader deeply connected to his people. Symbols of hands extended in offering and figures bowing in respect suggest that his authority was rooted in service and mutual trust. This challenges the stereotype of ancient rulers as tyrants, instead presenting a model of leadership that balanced power with responsibility. The legacy of a king also highlights the interconnectedness of the civilization's achievements. The inscription links his reign to the construction of temples, the development of advanced technologies, and the creation of the intricate trade networks we've seen in earlier inscriptions. It's a reminder that leadership isn't just about individual ambition, it's about creating the conditions for collective progress. This king's legacy wasn't just his own, it was the flourishing of an entire society. As we step away from this powerful tribute to leadership, our journey through the temple's inscriptions takes an unexpected turn. The 24th inscription, etched into a narrow alcove just a few steps ahead, reveals a discovery that bridges the ancient and the modern in a way that's nothing short of astonishing. Here, the symbols don't just recount history, they hint at a scientific breakthrough that resonates with our understanding of the universe today. What secrets does this next inscription hold? And how does it connect the wisdom of the past to the discoveries of the present? The answers lie just beyond, waiting to be unveiled. The 24th inscription, known as the Ancient Experiment, is a revelation that blurs the line between ancient wisdom and modern science. Etched into a narrow alcove, this set of symbols doesn't depict gods or battles. It shows what appears to be a detailed record of a scientific experiment. The carving illustrates a series of steps, a figure pouring liquid into a vessel, flames rising from a controlled fire, and a careful observation of the resulting reaction. It's a scene that feels eerily familiar, almost like a page from an ancient laboratory journal. At its core, this inscription suggests that this civilization wasn't just observing the natural world, they were actively experimenting with it. The symbols hint at an understanding of chemical processes, perhaps even an early form of alchemy or chemistry. One theory posits that they were attempting to transmute materials, seeking ways to purify metals or create pigments for their art. Another suggests they were exploring medicinal compounds, using trial and error to develop treatments for illness or injury. Whatever the goal, the precision of the inscription speaks to a methodical, almost scientific approach to problem solving. What makes this discovery so groundbreaking is how it challenges our assumptions about ancient science. We often think of early civilizations as bound by superstition, relying on myth rather than method. But this inscription paints a different picture, one of curiosity, experimentation, and a desire to understand the world through practical means. It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge isn't a modern invention, it's a timeless human trait, one that has driven progress for millennia. The implications of this experiment extend far beyond the desert temple. If this civilization was conducting systematic research, it raises questions about how their discoveries might have influenced other cultures. Did their knowledge spread along trade routes, shaping the scientific traditions of neighboring societies. Could their experiments have laid the groundwork for later innovations in medicine, metallurgy, or even architecture? These questions aren't just academic, they're a testament to the interconnectedness of human history and the ways in which ancient achievements continue to shape our world today. As we step away from this remarkable glimpse into ancient experimentation, our journey through the temple's inscriptions brings us to the final discovery, the 25th inscription. Etched into a secluded corner of the temple, this last message is both a culmination and a mystery. Unlike the others, it doesn't depict a celestial map, a ritual, or a scientific process. Instead, it offers a single, enigmatic phrase, one that has puzzled researchers since its discovery. What does it mean, and how does it tie together the stories we've uncovered? The answers, like the sands of time, are waiting to be revealed. The 25th inscription, known as the final message, is both a culmination and a mystery, a single, enigmatic phrase etched into a secluded corner of the temple. Unlike the celestial maps, artistic masterpieces, or scientific experiments we've explored, this one is starkly simple, a single line of symbols, carefully carved yet deliberately cryptic. Scholars have debated its meaning for years, but one thing is clear: it feels like a farewell, a final word from a civilization that poured its heart and soul into these walls. The symbols themselves are haunting in their simplicity, almost as if they were meant to linger in the mind long after they were written. The most widely accepted interpretation is that the message serves as a warning, a caution to future generations about the fragility of power, the impermanence of glory, or perhaps the consequences of hubris. Some believe it could be a call to remember, a plea to preserve the knowledge and wisdom they worked so hard to protect. Others see it as a reflection on the cyclical nature of time, a reminder that all civilizations rise and fall, leaving behind only fragments of their story. Whatever its true meaning, the final message carries a weight that resonates deeply, even across the chasm of centuries. What makes this inscription so compelling is how it ties together the themes of the other 24. It's as if the entire temple, its celestial maps, its rituals, its laws, and its art has been building toward this moment. The final message doesn't just sum up the civilization's achievements, it reflects their worldview, their understanding of their place in the universe. It's a testament to their belief in the interconnectedness of all things, from the stars above to the sand beneath their feet. And yet, for all its depth, it leaves us with more questions than answers. What were they trying to tell us? Were they speaking to their descendants, to the gods, or to the void itself? As we stand before this final inscription, it's impossible not to feel a sense of awe, and perhaps a touch of melancholy. These words, carved into stone thousands of years ago, are a bridge between their world and ours. They remind us that even the greatest civilizations are fleeting, their stories preserved only in fragments and whispers. But they also inspire us to keep searching, to keep asking questions, to keep uncovering the secrets they left behind. This journey through the temple's inscriptions has been nothing short of extraordinary. We've explored celestial knowledge, witnessed ancient rituals, marveled at artistic genius, and even glimpsed the beginnings of scientific thought. Each inscription has added a new layer to our understanding of this remarkable civilization, revealing not just their achievements, but their hopes, their fears, and their dreams. And as we prepare to conclude our exploration, one thing is clear: the story of this desert temple is far from over. The sands may shift, the winds may erode, but the voices of the past continue to speak, urging us to listen, to learn, and to remember. So, what do you think? What secrets do you believe these inscriptions hold? and how might their messages shape our understanding of history and of ourselves? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the mysteries of the ancient world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the stories that connect us all. As our journey through the 25 lost inscriptions comes to a close, it's impossible not to feel a profound sense of connection to this ancient civilization. Each carving, each symbol has revealed a piece of their world, a world filled with celestial wonder, artistic brilliance, scientific curiosity, and deeply human stories. From the intricate solar alignment code that mapped the heavens to the enigmatic final message that still whispers across the ages, these inscriptions have opened a doorway to a civilization that was far more advanced, thoughtful, and resilient than we ever imagined. What stands out most is the breadth of their knowledge. They weren't just survivors of a harsh desert environment. They were innovators, thinkers, and dreamers. They built temples that doubled as observatories, created art that played with perception, and devised laws that prioritized fairness and community. They studied the stars, experimented with chemistry, and encoded their wisdom in stone, ensuring it would endure long after their voices fell silent. These inscriptions are more than relics. They're a testament to the timeless human drive to understand, to create, and to leave a mark on the world. Yet for all we've uncovered, the inscriptions also remind us how much remains a mystery. The coded message still resists deciphering, the chamber of secrets remains sealed, and the true meaning of the final message lingers just out of reach. These gaps in our understanding aren't frustrations, they're invitations. They remind us that history isn't a closed book, it's an ongoing conversation, one that challenges us to keep asking questions, to keep exploring, and to keep marveling at the ingenuity of those who came before us. So, what does all of this mean for us today? These inscriptions aren't just windows into the past, they're mirrors reflecting our own curiosity and creativity. They show us that the challenges we face, whether they're environmental, social, or personal, aren't new. The people of this ancient civilization grappled with them too, and in their solutions, we can find inspiration. Their resilience, their innovation, and their ability to find beauty and meaning in the harshest of landscapes remind us of what's possible when we approach life with curiosity and determination. As we step away from the temple and its whispers of the past, let's carry this sense of wonder with us. The world is still full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, from the depths of the oceans to the far reaches of space. And just as these inscriptions have connected us to an ancient civilization, they also connect us to each other, reminding us that the quest for knowledge is a shared human journey. Before we go, I'll leave you with a thought from the great explorer and archaeologist Howard Carter, who once said, "The past is not dead, it is not even past." These inscriptions are proof of that. They remind us that the stories of those who came before us are still alive, still speaking, if only we take the time to listen. So, what do you think? What mysteries of the ancient world captivate you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts might just spark the next great discovery. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the stories that connect us all. The past is waiting. What will you find?